Hey everyone, and welcome to another RCTA video. In this video I would like to show you just yet another function that I have been able to add to Asp. It will be on Asp1 and, well, you can put it on Asp1 and you can, of course, it will be there on Asp2 when that is released. Okay, it came to my attention after a while that when you are using Asp and you have, modified your tank properly, you will be running your turret and your elevation motors from these two ports here. Okay, and that way you've got proportional control if you run your turret and your elevation motors from these ports. So what that means is that you have freed up the, well, in this case, the elevation motor switch that is available on the 8-pin connector. And also, if you are not using Airsoft, if you're using IR, there also is the gun motor connector, the Airsoft gun motor connector here on the 8-pin connector too, that is also unused. So rather than have two unused, well, fairly good switch, the medium power switch, they can handle a few amps. I've set up apps now so that you can use those. And here is an example of them in use. Good old Rad doesn't like how the headlight flashes at startup. So this is how you can modify your Asp so you don't have the flashing headlight at startup. So let's start Asp up and see it in normal operation. In normal operation, the headlight comes on and it stays solid until the IR system is finished. And then it'll start to flash. Now it'll only start to flash when it receives a valid signal from your radio. And if you fire, you can stop the background music as well. So I would suggest that, if you want to get ready for your battle, that's what you do. You turn everything on. When everything's on, you can simply mute the intro music if you wish. But you want to get rid of that flashing headlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to move the ground return for the headlight from where it normally is on this 8-pin connector to this connector here. I think that's the Airsoft motor. Okay, so that's pretty easy to do. So we're actually going to turn, if you're working on any system, you should turn everything off. Unplug your 8-pin connector. Now, these little JST plugs are fairly easy to remove. I'll try and do that here for you. You just need to press down on the little knob there, and then it should come out. And once you've done that, just remember to go back and just open it back up again. It's probably a little bit too... Anyway, you guys will know what's going on. And then I'm just going to replace that into the Airsoft gun return. Just place that in here. Okay, and now we're going to plug that back in. So that's all we've done with our headlight. We've just moved it from that spot there to that spot there on the 8-pin connector. That's all we needed to do. Now let's turn on and see what happens. Well, as a start, there's no headlight at all. So you'll have to be aware of that. Of course, the machine guns will be flashing. Your LEDs will be flashing on your battle unit. But as you can see, the headlight is completely blank. Let's turn the music off. Now I'm going to start the tank because we can't turn the headlight on until we start the tank. So I'm going to start the tank up. I should turn the volume down a little bit as well. Okay, so we've started up, and again there's no headlight. So that should solve the flashing headlight problem if you don't want it. The headlight will only come on when you turn it on. Now, because we've moved it off the headlight connector, we've moved it onto another connector, and I'll have the mix for that on the forum or later. But now that you've installed your 6 position selector switch, I'll just turn that music down a bit more. That tank down. Well, turn it to almost off. Okay. Once you've installed a 6 position switch, you can set that up also to trigger switching on channel 5, which is what I have done. If I bring this in the radio, it's probably all going to go all... But here's my 6 position switch. Now, depending on what position I have, if I flick it up, okay, I will actually will do that. Flick that up there. It triggers my user sounds on channel 6. Okay, so that's sound 1. Well, all the different banks. It's a very soft music track. I don't know if you can even hear it there. We'll just...
4.
Okay, there's some more of the... that 4 was yet another sound bank that I still haven't got sounds for.
0.
Same with that one. They're the new sound banks. Anyway, this wasn't about the sound banks. Okay, this is about getting that... Oh, you would have seen... Actually, I preempted myself there. There we go. We've turned the headlight on. Got to get the other light off. There we go. Okay, so I'll move this out of the road. This video has probably now made it more complicated, but so you set your 6 position switch up, and then you throw it, and there's your headlight. And so your headlight now only comes on and off when you want it to come on and off. Now, as I said, if you're using these two, you've also freed up your elevation motor, and so you can put another switch, another relay or another LED or something else onto the elevation motor return. So we can now have another light or a relay or anything there, and then that can be switched. I think here we'll switch it now. There we go. So there's yet another lighting option, another switching option that you can have with, we'll turn them both on, with Asp. Hope that video made a bit of sense. If it doesn't, just email me. I'll let you know how to set it all up. Cheers, guys.